What is up, guys? Christian here with OPH Outdoors, and today we're going to do a video that I mentioned I would do earlier this spring. I made a video of my Hobie Pro Angler 12 setup and how I have it set up for tournament fishing. And I mentioned at the end, I kind of went through and showed everything, and I mentioned that I would kind of go over kayak tackle organization and how I organize my kayak. So it got cold out. Randomly out of nowhere, we got about 2 to 3 inches of snow the other night, and I have had to put my boat away, got my kayaks in here, have everything a mess in here right now because I've been taking it out of my boat and kayaks and kind of getting it ready and organizing. So since it's a little bit organized, I figured it would be a good time to go over how I organize my tackle inside my kayak. So first, my biggest part that I use for my kayak is right here. I have it up here so I can show you guys. I'll put it down in a second. I just wanted to be able to, you guys to be able to see it. So I use the Kayak Tackle Black Pack, and I actually have 8 rod holders put on it. I really don't need 8 now that I have the Pro Angler. I put 8 on it because of having the Outback, so then I could put 8 rods on it because I didn't like the shallow rod holders in the Outback. And then when I got my Pro Angler, I can put some in my horizontal rod holders, but I really don't like doing that. I broke one rod tip when doing it, so from then I mainly put all my rods in here. I might put 1 or 2 in my horizontal rod holders, but that's besides the point. This is mainly about tackle. You can categorize rods or as tackle if you want, but yeah. So I store 8 rods on my Kayak Tackle Black Pack, and inside I've got 5 Plano 3700 boxes. So let me put this on the ground, and then I'm going to walk through about what I have in each one of my boxes inside my black pack. Alright guys, so I have all my tackle boxes out of my black pack, and now we'll go through a little bit what I have in each one. So right here, I store most of my soft plastics inside of Plano boxes. They've been in here a year now, and they're really, none of the dividers are messed up or anything, so I'll keep them like that for now. But in this box I've got trailers, so chatterbait jig, spinnerbait, Ned rig trailers, anything like that I'll use or I'll have in here. So in here I've got Yum Christie crawler, crawdads. I've got a few of the net baits, the Pacu crawls, some baby Pacu crawls, and regular size Pacu crawls. I really like those trailers, so I throw those a lot, and I've got a lot of them in here. Other than that, I've got Kitex. I'm almost out of them. I threw those a lot this year. So I've got Kitex in here, and then I also have Ned rigs. These are not my actual Ned rigs. I throw, whenever I'm not like fishing in a tournament or anything, I actually grab a Senko, and I'll cut a 5-inch Senko in half to get 2.5-inch little stick baits out of it, and I've actually had really good success on it. Earlier this spring I caught 30 fish. Well, me and Skylar together, we caught like 37 fish, but I caught about 20-25 of them, and almost all of them were on this. I didn't throw a regular Ned rig, like a Z-Man Elastec Ned rig. I threw those. So yeah, that's what's in this tackle box, all my trailers. Alright guys, next is a box that I didn't use much of this year, and I probably should have used more of it. But this is my Trickworm box. So in here, looks like I got some Zoom Trickworms up here. Yep, two kinds of Zoom Trickworms. Reaction Innovations Flirt, I really like those for drop shotting. So I've got those in here. I've got the Zoom, another Zoom, 2 more Zoom Trickworms. And then I've got some big worms in here too, or Mondo worms. So here, I believe, yep, this is the Guggenbait's Mondo worm. And I only have 1 of those, and all the other ones, I believe, yep, all the other 3 in there are the Zoom Old Monsters. I really like those ones too, so I've got a lot of those in here, 3 different colors. So there's not as much in my Trickworm box. I really don't throw them as much, so I can't really talk as much about them as I could other baits. So yep, there is my Trickworm box. After that, my most used soft plastics box, and this is a creature bait box. And I've got so many creature baits in here, as you guys can tell. But I've got a bunch of Berkeley pit bosses in here. I've got the Bandito bugs. I've got Strike King rodents, V&M J bug, Yum Christie crawler, Strike King game hog, brush hog, more Bandito bugs, and then the Kinky beaver. So these are just mainly the type of soft plastics I like to throw for creature baits, and they work for me. So I have a lot of them. So yeah, guys, there is my creature bait box. Next is Cinco box. All of these, I believe, well, most of them are Yum and the big bite baits in here. I throw those more than the Gary Yamamoto's because I don't see a reason to pay that much for a Cinco. And yeah, I just don't see the reason to pay that much for a Cinco. So most of these are Yum. I've got a Strike King KVD Cinco because I wanted a bright pink color Cinco, and that's the only one I could find at our Bass Pro. Yeah, other than that, big bites, Yum, same old thing. Everybody knows the Cinco, so don't need to talk too much about that. After that, I've got my Kayak Topwater Box. This is a box that I kind of lack using, and I lack baits in. This is pretty much all the type of topwaters that I throw. I've got spooks, regular spooks, mini spooks, the torpedo bait, poppers, whopper ploppers, like a plopping frog. I don't even know what that is. I've got a few regular frogs, both popping and regulars, and yep, that basically sums up in this box. I don't throw topwaters too much. Skylar throws topwaters a lot. I don't. I'm going to try to throw them a lot more this next year, so this box will be filling up this winter. But like I said, there's not much to talk about in this box for me. I don't use it that much. So that is everything that gets stuffed in my black pack. So yeah, moving on. My main box I keep underneath my seat in my Pro Angler, and you can really do this on any kayak. It doesn't just have to be the Hobies. I know a lot of kayaks have enough room in the seat. I did it on my Outback and my Pro Angler. You can put a crate in the back of pretty much any kayak and store stuff the same way. But yeah, this box right here is all my crankbaits, and I've got a few swim baits in here too. So the way I organize this box is up here in the tops, I've got 14 to 20 foot divers in these two compartments. Right here, I've got, actually this spot right here is like 8 to 12 foot divers or 8 to 14 foot divers. Here is from like 5 to 10 foot divers, so just shallow diving crankbaits. And then I've got square bills, smaller square bills, bigger size square bills, bigger lipless crankbaits. I've got regular lipless crankbaits, the Rapala Clack and Wrap, just like a noise crank, or a little bit different of a lipless crankbait. I've got jerk baits, a bunch of different jerk baits in here, and then small jerk baits in there too. Just so I've got a bunch of every type of size and color of pretty much every single type of crankbait. This is a little bit empty for what it usually is right now because I took out some of my baits out of here and put them in my boat tackle boxes, which I will be making another video this spring when I get my boat organized again, when I get it back out from winter from storage, and specifically over all that. The last compartment in here, I've got swim baits. I really don't throw these swim baits that much. That's why I just have them sitting in here. I've got the Savage Gear bluegill, and then some Chasing Trophy Fish swim baits in here too that I got at a trade show, and I've just never really used this year. So yeah, this is all my crankbait box, and I keep that underneath my seat. So next are the two tackle boxes that I keep in my center hatch in my Pro Angler. The 3600 size works great for that. If you don't have a hatch in the center where you can keep it in your front hatch, keep it in your black pack. I could probably throw these in my black pack and be fine. But here is where what I throw in these boxes. In my first one, I've got all my jigs, chatterbaits, and spinnerbaits. Over here in the big compartment, I've got spinnerbaits. I think I've got about 5 or 6 different kinds or colors. On the top 4 compartments right here, I've got, those are jigs. I've got different sizes and colors. They're pretty much based on colors, and then I just kind of look at what each jig is, like the size of the head, to know what weight it is. And then on these bottom 2, I've got all my chatterbaits. All these are Z-Man Elite chatterbaits. I just like throwing those the best. I don't see a need to purchase the jackhammers, or what I might try actually is I want to try the Thunder Crickets by Strike King. So yeah, this box gets used a lot. I throw a lot of jigs, spinnerbaits, and chatterbaits. So that's why I like it right in front of my seat. So I have everything right there in case I break off. So I can just quickly grab my baits, retie, and be right back into fishing. So lastly, the tackle box that I leave is, you cannot forget this most important tackle box. And it's also why I keep it right there next to my other most used box, which has the chatterbaits, jigs, and spinner baits. This is a terminal tackle box. If I'm not throwing those baits, well, I mean, a lot of people, you're either going to throw those jigs, chatterbaits, spinner baits, something that needs terminal tackle, or crankbaits. And all those things for me are right there by my seat, easy to get to, and have easy access to them. In this box, I've got it organized pretty simple. I've got, at the top, it's a little bit messy because I haven't worried about cleaning this yet. I've got a bunch of different weights, lead, I've got tungsten, split shots, drop shot weights, drop shot wacky rig hooks, 4/0, 3/0, 2/0 worm hooks, 3/16 ounce tube hooks, 1/4 ounce tube hooks, Ned rig hooks, which I'm low on, and then I've got different swim bait hooks, underspins, and just regular weighted swim bait hooks. I'm actually almost out of those right now. And then underneath that, I've got shaky heads, which I'm almost out of, and then I've got football jigs and then Tokyo rigs. And that pretty much is everything that I use with terminal tackle. I should have EWG hooks in here, but I ran out and I forgot to put them back in here. So usually I have EWG hooks in there too. I also have bobber stops in there. Now, anything else that I forget to put in one of those boxes, or that I can't fit in one of those boxes, goes in my front hatch or in my H-rail bins that I put beside it. But in my front hatch, I usually just have, if I know one bait's working better than the other right now and I don't have it in one of my tackle boxes already, I'll grab it from either my storage where I have all my other tackle or my boat's tackle, and I'll throw it in my front hatch just so it's there when I need it. But yeah, that basically is how I store absolutely all my tackle in my kayak. I carry a lot of tackle. I know there's a bunch of people that carry more tackle than this, but that's just what I carry. I like carrying a lot of rods. I like carrying a lot of tackle. It's better to have everything you need if you need it, instead of needing something and you not having it. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you guys found it enjoyable or maybe helpful to you when you're trying to think about how to organize your kayak. And yeah, make sure to subscribe to the channel and click that bell notification so you guys can get all the notifications whenever I post a new video. I'll do more kayak fishing videos this spring. I'll do more boat videos. I've got one big trip planned on my spring break, so I'll be doing that. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to check out other videos, and we'll see you in the next video.